We weighed up the pros and cons. You must weigh up the pros and cons. The group divided into pros and cons. He weighed up the pros and cons before making the decision. Let's examine the pros and cons. There are pros and cons to everything. Let's look at the pros and cons of pacifism. Do you know the pros and cons of clothes with low necklines? What are the pros and cons of arguing? Let's hear the pros and cons of this idea. I'm sick and tired of your moaning. I'm sick and tired of all the arguments. I was sick and tired of the endless protagonicide in the movie. I'm sick and tired of adulting. I am sick and tired of her nagging. I am sick and tired of her. I'm sick and tired of my job. I am sick and tired of doing this. I'm sick and tired of pizza. I'm sick and tired of your excuses. We will meet here give or take 2 o'clock. There were give or take 100 people at the congregation. 10 years later that dropout is worth, give or take, about $60 million. Give or take a day or two. 9 weeks, give or take a few days. Give or take 5 pounds, maybe 10. They're all equally excellent, give or take. You are completely right, give or take 12.6% of GDP. All in all, the process takes about a month, give or take. It was a few $100s, give or take. Make your speech short and sweet. That's how I like my telephone conversations, just short and sweet. I will do it short and sweet. I'll make it short and sweet. My speech would be short and sweet. That was really short and sweet, right? We haven't much time, so I'll keep it short and sweet. The report is concise, short and sweet. I try to keep my classes short and sweet. It isn't incredibly long and thorough, but short and sweet and to the point. I've got a few odds and ends to do before leaving. She spent the day sorting through a box full of odds and ends. The room was jam-packed with odds and ends. The drawer is full of odds and ends. He threw all the odds and ends into the basement storage room. Finally, I should like to deal with some odds and ends. It's on a table with other odds and ends. Right, and I'll pick up a few odds and ends. Then you need a few odds and ends. I mainly needed to pick up a few odds and ends. The hustle and bustle of city life. We escaped from the hustle and bustle of the city for the weekend. Seoul is sure a city of hustle and bustle. She prepared and brought a lunchbox amid the hustle and bustle. There was a great hustle and bustle on the street to prepare for the parade. Others may do so because they like the hustle and bustle of city life. They often like the hustle and bustle. It's a bit of hustle and bustle, I love it. We like to get away from the hustle and bustle. We are used to crowded places and hustle and bustle. Ferries sailing back and forth between the islands. A bus shuttles passengers back and forth from the station to the terminal. He wants to travel back and forth from Seoul to Busan. He paced back and forth in the room. The chair is rocking back and forth. He flourished his hat back and forth. The pendulum in the clock swung back and forth. He fluttered back and forth in the corridor. Her waist-length hair was swaying back and forth. He wobbled back and forth. By and large, I enjoyed my time at school. By and large, I agree with you. So by and large they play ball. I think by and large he's rig. By and large it certainly is. By and large, there is much to be said for the new system. By and large, all the debates were enjoyable and highly respectful in content. By and large, the tournament was a success. And by and large I was right. And yes, it is by and large safe. I've more or less finished the book. She could earn $200 a night, more or less. He was more or less angry. Most people are more or less selfish. We came to more or less the same conclusion. You are also more or less responsible for the matter. It's been 10 years now, more or less since we've been here. It's more or less the same as my old one, except for the price. No more, or less, just study hard. They are more or less in the line of luxury. I'm receiving you loud and clear. The message is coming through loud and clear. I get you loud and clear. I read you loud and clear. American said it loud and clear last year, they go to movies to be entertained. The message needs to be heard loud and clear. And I think it will be received loud and clear. It couldn't be more loud and clear. The challenge to the international community is loud and clear. I heard you loud and clear.